You can see me on YouTube. And is the stream clear on Facebook? Because again, I see there's a bit of a problem there as well. Okay, yay! I'm on YouTube as well. Team, can you please confirm if you guys can see me on YouTube? Right, sounds good. Kara, guys, all those who have joined me, who are going to join through YouTube, we had a bit of a problem coming live on YouTube, and it there was a bit of a snag. So yeah, I hope everybody's on board now. Facebook, you can see me on YouTube as well. Right, so starting off, Anil, congratulations. And yes, thank you for your amazing feedback. Thank you for being a great client, an amazing kind of very, very patient client. So all your patience have paid off, and congratulations to you and your family. Yep, and yeah, brilliant working with you. So yeah, here's a live of a success story, an AJV success story. Right. So next question, we have somebody called Pushpa Tawari saying hi, Pushpa, and Pushkar Nutyal says, "What's the score required for work permit?" Okay, Pushkar, I assume that you're talking about IELTS score. Okay, first of all, IELTS is a requirement for most visas in New Zealand, but not for a work permit. So, work permit, again, you will be able to get a work permit only if you have a job offer in New Zealand. There are no open permits for, I'm assuming that from India. So, there's no permits that are available, like an open permit or a holiday working visa, where you can come to New Zealand, take a ticket, come to New Zealand, and look for jobs. Unfortunately, that is not available for certain nationalities, especially the Southeast Asian and South Asian nationalities. You don't have that option. Yes, some of the British and some of the other countries, these Western countries, do have an option where they can apply for something called a working holiday maker visa, where they can come to New Zealand, while having a holiday, they can also work. But that option is not available for Indian students specifically. So you will need to find a job. Now, the other issue is, if you're trying to go and apply for a job, the employer will expect you to have a work visa. So it becomes the chicken and the egg story, where you need to have a job, but then you need a permit. But when you go for a permit, they ask for a job. So I think you will need to explore your options available. We will need to assess to see whether you qualify for a resident visa, where there's a possibility you can get an open work visa through that pathway and come to New Zealand and find jobs. So I would request you to please send your CVs for an assessment to immigration advisor at ajvglobal.com. For anyone who would like immigration advice and to be assessed prior to looking at other options, or if you want to be assessed whether you qualify for a resident visa to New Zealand, please send your CVs yourself and of your spouse. Okay, so and then we'll be able to assess and come back to you if you qualify. Otherwise, we will suggest you alternate options. Okay. So the next question we have is from Alex. We also have somebody called Amir Siddiqui saying hi. Hello, Amir. And we have Alex Sams, who says, "What is the salary scale for PR application?" Okay, Alex, if you are based in New Zealand, there is a salary threshold of having $52,000 per annum for a 40-hour week. If otherwise, it is going to be a $25 per hour for any skilled position to be able to apply for a resident visa. That's a clarification. That's not PR, it's resident visa. Okay, it's RV. So you will need to apply for a resident visa first, live in New Zealand for 2 years, and then apply for a permanent resident visa, which is an indefinite visa. So till then, you will need to apply for something. If you're offshore, you will not be able to apply for a direct resident visa. You will have to apply for something called an SMC category, which is skilled migrant category job search visa. For that also, you will need to qualify. You will need to get 160 points through various areas in your profile, like age, qualification, work experience, and things like that. So you will need to write to us. Like I just mentioned, you will need to write to us at immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com. We will be able to assess and come back to you if you qualify for that category of visa, right? And then we can suggest you further options. So I hope I've clarified that question for you. Okay. So the next question we have from Ramar. He says, "Hi, madam. I want to come to come to work visa. Okay, and then I suppose that was, I want to come to New Zealand on a work visa. So Ramar, I just answered that question about work permits, about work visas. If you have a job offer, come to us. We will be able to provide you with visa services. If you do not have a job offer, we would suggest you to look at alternate pathways, because you won't be able to, it's like, it's not like Dubai or couple of other countries, or Singapore for that matter, where you can come and then look for a job. Yeah. So you, that option is not available. You can also check there various other videos posted by Arun about finding jobs or work visas to New Zealand. So you can go through that on the YouTube channel. Yeah. um, we also have someone called Nupur Tavari saying hi. Hi, Nupur. Next question is from Manish Kumar MK. Hi, ma'am. I can apply my daughter's schooling visa 8 class. Okay. Manish, I um, looks like you're interested to send your daughter, who's in class 8, to study in New Zealand. Yes, she can definitely. The primary and secondary education is available for international students. However, your daughter will be treated as an international student, and the fees will be a bit higher than what you would expect. So, on an average, the fees is about $3,000 per term, and there are 4 terms for children in the schooling. So, Immigration New Zealand will expect to see very, very strong financial background. They would like to see what kind of progress you're looking at long term. It's ideal for people who are well off and would like their children to study overseas, because the education system in the home country is not very good. So it is possible with, but you need to have a substantial amount of um, money for that. Okay, because you will need to say, okay, not just class 8. Now if you're looking at accompanying your child as a pathway, then I must say there's only one parent allowed along with the child to New Zealand, and that parent will have to, will not be able to work. It'll be only on the visitor visa categories, visitor visa terms and conditions. So um, if you're trying to get a pathway, then I don't think that's the best option. You may have to look at other options. Okay, I hope I've answered that, Manish. Okay, right. Next question, Kaja Aziruddin. Hi, I've completed intermediate in CEC in 2004. Can I do diploma in New Zealand this year? Hi, team. Can you please tell me if Kaja is already talking to us? Right. So, Kaja, yes, you can definitely study. We have had a lot of people, a lot of students who have come to New Zealand after their class 12. Now, yes, you might wonder. I can see, they say read between the lines. So I can see that you're worried about possibly the gap, because it's almost 2004 to 14 to 9. It's close to about 15 years of gap. So I'm sure you may be concerned about that gap. If you are able to show enough evidence as to what you were doing during this gap, you were working, you were pursuing something, or trying to pursue a career, whatever, if you're able to show us substantial evidence that you have been engaged with some form of what do you say, occupation, then we will be able to stitch it all together, show evidences, and present to immigration. There were students in the past with such a big gap who have been able to get visas at a much later age. Also, the other thing, the beauty of New Zealand is age is never a factor to study. I have seen students, very, very elderly, I mean, mature students, they call that in New Zealand, somebody who's above their age category or age group. Normally for each class, there's certain age groups that are there. In, say, degree, you will have people between 18 to 20, 22, 23, 24. If you're above that, you're known as a mature student. If you also have, say, work experience, you're known as a mature student. So New Zealand welcomes mature students at every level. So you can start off from level 5, which is the first year of your bachelor's degree, and go upwards. So yes, New Zealand will welcome you, and there's never a problem. We have processed student visas for a 50-year-old. Okay, so there's no problem. Age is not a criteria at all. Gap is not a problem as long as we are showing substantial evidence. So I would request you to connect with my team, because you need to work with somebody who understands how to present the case with Immigration New Zealand. I have seen so many students coming to us, getting visas declined because they were very, very poorly represented, or they were very poorly, advised. I will give you an example. I won't take names, but I have been speaking to someone, about not just one person, about two or three people who have been misled into courses, saying that the spouses can accompany them on those courses. Uh, on this broadcast, I would like to tell you people, please be very, very careful. Talk to your friends and family who are looking at coming to New Zealand, even if you are not able to join and work with us. Is, guys, please take proper advice. Also, more than anything else, do research, do your own research. There's so much of information available online, free for that matter. Our videos, our broadcasts, our live sessions, is so much of free information being given out. When you're spending so much of money, it is almost a full life's earning for some people, for some families. When you're selling properties, mortgaging your properties and coming to New Zealand, you will need to ensure you make a very, very calculated and researched, informed decision. I am seeing young, smart people who work with MNCs, but lack of time, or lack of think that there are no resources, they come to New Zealand in wrong programs, where also assuming that the spouses can accompany them on a work visa on those programs. But after they come here, and because the agencies who are there in India, big agencies, again, I will not take names, big agencies have no knowledge of immigration instructions. They have sent those people on wrong programs. I'll give you an example. PG diploma in any subject, guys, you cannot bring the spouse on a work visa. Even PG diploma in IT, where IT is in the long term skill shortage. The policy very clearly says that the course has to be clearly specified on the long term skill shortage list. In that situation, no PG diploma you will be able to, on no on any of the PG diplomas, the partner cannot accompany on a work visa. Please do not do the mistake of coming to New Zealand and then thinking of applying for your partners. It will not happen. Okay, no matter what, humanitarian or whatever reasoning, your partners will not be able to get a work visa. At the most, that will be a visitor visa where they'll have to come and wait for 1 year without a job. So please take informed decision and talk to people who know the policy. Talk to immigration and talk to AJV. It's as simple as that, I will say. For all those people who are watching, I am also amazed at so many people saying that, hey, you know what, I've seen Arun's videos, I've seen live sessions, but you know what, I was already working with XYZ, so that is the reason I didn't come to you. We thought we will connect with you after we come to New Zealand. Guys, that's absolutely an incorrect approach, I would say, because you will need proper guidance right from the beginning of the process, not halfway through the process, where we cannot undo the mistakes that you have done. There are problems where people put wrong things on application forms. They do not disclose their previous declines. They do not provide proper documentation. They think it's, oh, my agent said not to provide this, my agent said hide my masters, my agent said don't say my visa was declined for a certain country. All these things will create a problem once you come to New Zealand, and we cannot undo it, guys. At that stage, if you tell us to lie, we will not be able to do it. We cannot show the wrong information or hide something for you. We cannot. It is immigration will New Zealand will find out eventually, and your lies will catch up to you sometime. There were so many students 2 years ago who were deported from the country because they showed fake loan letters. The agent, so-called agent, showed fake loan letters. I had a student recently who was from Sri Lanka, applied for a post-study work permit. It's important that I mention this. So he applied for a post-study work permit. He was from Sri Lanka. His particular financial institution through which he applied for a loan initially, now that financial institution is under scrutiny, because of which they actually caused a huge delay on his post-study work visa. An application which will take 3 weeks took nearly 2 months. That is because they suspected that he would have put a fake documentation because they had blacklisted that institution. Thankfully, again, because he worked with us for his student visa application and we never put any fake or fraudulent or manufactured document, it came through because they had to do their due diligence, they had to do their verifications, and eventually we got the visa for him. So guys, please talk to us when you are still in your home country. Even if you all have started the process, doesn't matter, talk to us. It doesn't cost to get a free advice or free consultation. If you're doing the right thing, we will say, okay, all good, please go ahead. We will not say, no, no, you have to necessarily come and work with us, only then we will give you some information. We will give you some information. If you're doing the wrong thing, we will also tell you that. Okay, so guys, please approach us when you are still in your home country. Very, very important. We cannot undo your mistakes or turn back time if you come to New Zealand and expect our help. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next question. Adnan Hussain says, how much score required for BS? Okay, I'm sorry, Adnan, but BS is very vague. Can you please? Is it a Bachelor of Science? I'm assuming, but or do you mean bachelor's? Can you please elaborate on that, Adnan? It'll be better for me to answer. Then we have Farooq Shah, who's asking WhatsApp number. Okay, Farooq, if you would like to contact our team if you're from India, we have a specific toll-free number, which is 1-800-103-6525. I repeat that, it's 1-800-103-6525. And if you're not based in India, you can send us an email on info@ajvglobal.com. If you're based onshore, or if you're based anywhere else in the world and would like to speak to an immigration advisor specifically, this is my number. It comes straight to me. It's +6422 605 2615. If you're onshore, it's 022 605 2615. The email address is immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com. So these are the numbers for you guys to reach us on. Okay, so I'll move on. We have some backlog of questions there, so I'll just quickly go there and answer those. We have someone called Altaf Javed who says, I am electrical and instrumentation, that's what I suppose that is instrumentation work experience. I want to settle in New Zealand. Altaf, please email your CV to the email address I just mentioned for an assessment for a resident visa assessment. And if you're not eligible for a resident visa, then we will suggest you alternate options. Okay, so that's how the process goes. So first send us your CV, we will assess and come back to you. Altaf adds, he says 20 years experience and also has done diploma. Altaf, if you're done a diploma, the chances are likely less for you to be able to qualify for a resident visa straight away. You could possibly look at alternate options. So we will suggest that once you send your CV to us. Okay, so please email us your CVs. Okay, so we have someone called Supriya who messages saying, hello, I'm waiting for my student visa since 60 days. Why NZ taking so long to decide the application? Thank you so much. I think Supriya is not one of our students. Yeah, so my team just confirmed saying Supriya is not an HAV student. Supriya, we have told, a lot of times in the previous casts as well, that Immigration New Zealand is taking a long time. They are taking anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks. However, we are trying to reach out to them. We could assess to see if we can help you. My team will reach out to you, share your details, and we'll see if we can help you in any manner. Otherwise, it's just waiting. You just need to wait. So if my team reaches out to you, please share your number, and we will assess to see if there's some way we can help you, because you're still in the country and you have not arrived to New Zealand. We could still possibly help you. But just talk to my team and provide your details when they contact you. Okay. Manish says, thanks, ma'am. You're welcome, Manish. Mohammed Rifaj, must want to IELTS scores. Mohammed, I don't know what you mean by that. As I just mentioned, IELTS is required for various visas. And please specify which category of visa you're looking at, okay? And I will be able to clarify that. Next question is Joseph Matthew. Hi, I would like to know about investor business migration visas as an Indian. Is it the easy way to migrate to New Zealand? How much money should an Indian need to spend in New Zealand for getting an investor visa? Joseph, again, this is a very, very specific immigration advice related query. I would request you to please send me an email to immigrationadvisor@ajbglobal.com, and I will be able to respond to you with the query. There is also a video on YouTube about the investor categories. You can just look up Arun Jacobs, videos, and then you will definitely find one which talks about business migration. You can go onto YouTube and search for it, and you'll be able to um, understand the eligibility for these investor category visas. Okay. um, we have Shruti Tandon who says, hi Mary. Hi Shruti. Damsara Ratnayake, what's the better course from below mentioned master's courses? Civilization and Entrepreneurship in Auckland University, Global Management in Victoria University, and Business Sustainability in Otago University. Brilliant programs, Damsara. I think, going by your name, I guess you're from Sri Lanka. Very, very good courses. There is quite a bit of scope in those areas, provided you have some good experience, because these are very, very high level programs. And I because it's a master's level, they're also going to be very intensive, because University of Auckland, I believe a lot of programs from University of Auckland are highly intensive, and I had students constantly contacting us and saying that they would like to step down or change their program from masters, because they come without experience and get into masters, which are very, very intensive programs. Certain masters at universities, because they're very research focused. So before advising which is the better course, I think we will need to see your profile. We will need to understand what your goal is, and we will need to understand your eligibility for these programs, because the eligibility at University of Auckland, which is the university's best, New Zealand's best university, and one of the top 500 ranking universities in the world, we will need to see if you're even eligible for these programs, because the cutoffs and the requirements are very, very high for these universities. So what I would recommend is my team will connect with you, Damsara. Please talk to them. And our advisors are very, very experienced in understanding profiles and helping with creating those career pathways. So they get constantly trained by a licensed immigration advisor from another senior colleague of mine who's been a counselor for almost 15 years, and and by Arun, and ex-immigration advisors that are there, ex-immigration officers who are working with us. So our advisors team is very, very capable of understanding and suggesting career pathways, so that you eventually make it to New Zealand for your resident visa, if that is your goal at all. So when my team contacts you, please share your number and we will be able to assist you further. As I said, this needs a detailed analysis before we give you advice on this. Okay. Altaf says, okay ma'am, thank you very much, Altaf. We have got Nikki who says, I'm planning to do a course in supply chain management. Okay. Nikhil, is that your question? If you can just elaborate, that'll be great. Team, can you tell me if Nikki is working with us? Dharmendra Mishra says, my IELTS is 5.5 overall. Can I migrate? Again, Dharmendra, I am not sure which pathway you're looking at. If you're looking at a resident visa, 5.5 is definitely not possible. You need to have a 6.5 overall band. So, however, we will need to assess to see if you first qualify. Please send us your CV and we will do an assessment and come back to you. Samarth Guy. Hi, Samarth. I hope you're this. I guess you're the same Samarth who's been in touch with us for a long time now. So you're saying, I want to know about MBM course. How is this course? Master of Business Management is that what you're asking? MBM, which university? Again, this is very, very specific, because unless and until we know which university and again what your end goal is, we will not be able to advise on specific courses. Also, this is a master's level, so we need to see if you are eligible for this if it's at a university. Some of the universities require work experience as well. Okay, so Samarth, give us more details about which university, and then I will be able to assist you further on that. Right. Mohammad Rifat says, "Hello, madam. I've completed bakery course NVQ at NZQF level 4. Or it says NVQ. Okay. I want to move to New Zealand. How to apply for New Zealand work visa?" Mohammed, I've just answered this question about work visas. I think if you can, after this broadcast, if you can scroll a bit and start from the beginning, your question will be answered about work visas. Okay. Right. Nikki says, "I have done bachelor's in ECE in 2014. I carried 3.5 years in international support. My last company I've worked for Sears Holding, which is e-commerce. I'm interested to do a master's in supply chain. Please suggest me if supply chain management is in the skill list and any future there." Okay. This question comes to us very, very often, saying, should I do a course only in the long-term skill shortage list? I would say the answer is no. Now, for example, Nikhil, if you're trying to get into a supply chain management program, okay, you have done something in international support and have no experience in supply chain management. E-commerce is again a very, very small area. It's a support system for supply chain management. But supply chain management is more about purchasing, buying, logistics, and other things like that. So, and international law and so many other things. So, what you have done in the past is a very, very small thing. It's more towards if you're saying e-commerce is more towards e-business. It's more towards it's more towards e-business. So supply chain is not directly connected or completely involved with that. Okay, we strongly recommend people only with some years of experience to get into supply chain. Some years of basic experience, even if you worked as a purchaser or a buyer for a few years, that is good. That's a good start to get into supply chain. Yeah. So in your situation, Nikhil, again, as I just mentioned, students are getting into wrong programs, because what will happen is you will have your degree, you will be able to study this course, but you will have a fair bit of a disadvantage when you go out for jobs. Because what happens is, how resident visa or how immigration in New Zealand works, migration works, is you need to find a job where, which is related to your background. Okay, you have done a bachelor's in electrical. ECE is electrical, right? Electrical communications engineering. Yeah. So if you have done a ECE engineering, when you go for a job and suppose you're not able to find a job in supply chain management, what is your backup? So you cannot find a job in e-commerce, which is your area where you have worked in the past. Immigration will simply say, "Hey, you know what? You've got an amazing job, pays you $60,000, no problem. However, you're not suitably qualified by training." If you stuck at that, you'll have to either go back and find a job in engineering, or you'll have to definitely only find something in supply chain, again where you will start off at a purchaser or buyer role, and which will be way off from getting to the position, because only logistics or procurement managers are in the long term skill shortage list and are skilled. The rest are not treated as skilled roles. Purchasers, buyers, they're not considered as skilled roles. That means you will need to work your way up. It will take some time. So you will need to be prepared for that. Don't expect to come in, finish this course, and get directly a job as a supply chain manager or a procurement manager or a logistics manager, because that role, procurement managers, are in the skill shortage list, not the other roles in supply chain. So you will need to be aware of this. So Nikhil, I would suggest we have to examine your profile. We will need to, please don't end up doing the wrong courses. It's very, very important. I can clearly see that you're going to end up in a wrong course and struggle here in New Zealand if you're looking at settling now. If you want to study and go back, perfect. Please do that program, no problem. But if you're looking at a future here in New Zealand, you will definitely have to look at something more wider, which will give you wider scopes, right? Team, can you please make a note of Nikhil specifically we need to help him out, because otherwise he'll. And also, is he one of our own students, guys? Is any of our counselors or advisors talking to him? Please let me know about that, and I'll be happy to pitch in, Nikhil, and talk to you. I've just shared my numbers as well. Maybe you'd like to talk to me straight away to get more on immigration side perspective. Please talk to me, Nikhil, and we will be able to help you certainly on that. Yeah, or my team will reach out to you. My team is amazing in terms of giving course suggestions and career pathways. So please talk to them as well. Okay. Um, we'll go to the next question. We've got Sudhish Mathur, who says, "Hi, madam. I'm from finance field. Can I get PR?" Sudesh, I will answer this quickly. Please email your CV to us at immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com. I will assess and come back to you about your resident visa. It's not PR, it's resident visa. PR is permanent resident visa, which comes at a later stage. Okay. Samarth says, from University of Canterbury. University of Canterbury is an amazing university. So hence I have no doubt in the course content. In fact, we have one or two students doing that program, Samarth. So definitely a good university. However, their prerequisites are very, very high. You will need to have nearly 70% to be able to get into the course. So also, I remember from the past that you may not be eligible for that program. So, um, because of what we've discussed in the past. So, we will need to assess and see whether you're eligible first. Yeah. And we will certainly help you. And, if suppose if you have some additional documentation, we can provide that and get you an entry. Absolutely no problem. So, talk to us and we'll see if we can get you an entry into the master's and into the MBM program. Okay. Okay, let me just take a sip of water before this keeps going on and on, guys. Okay, I hope I'm still continuing to go live from Facebook and YouTube. Team, there are a lot of questions coming through from YouTube as well. I'm just going to pick up one or two from here. We've got Sunando Basu, who's one of our own clients. I'm going to answer that. Sunando asks, "Hello, Mary, looking for jobs in IT analysis. Can you please suggest any certifications which could help in the job market?" Sunando, when it comes to business analysis, if you are an IT side of business analysis, I think what you should do is you must go on to the job sites, which are the big job sites, which is Seek and Trade Me. Look up for business analysts as a role. And over there, the requirements are very clearly mentioned. So, best will be for you to do something, which is listed as a certification requirement. Okay, so what I would suggest is go on to the Seek and Seek, or the other one is Trade Me. Sorry, guys. So over there, under the business analyst positions, there will be requirements. Read the job description, read the job requirement, and your answer will be clarified regarding any certification which is required. Okay, it's a very technical question, so I won't be able to answer that so specifically. So it's best you get it from the industry. It's best for you to, because that's the place, not just for IT, guys, any other place. If you're in doubt saying, oh, what course will lead me into a certain job, you have to go and read the job description and the job requirement. So if you read the job description and the requirement, over there it will say, okay, suppose digital marketing executives, digital and digital marketing specialists, you need to have HubSpot, Google AdWords, etc., etc. If you're a creative person, it will say, okay, you need to have Maya, 3D Max, and Photoshop, and a couple of other things. If you're a graphic designer, of course, all that. Then digital marketers also require SEO, SEM. Then you have quantity surveyors, which are engineers. So for them, if there are any certification, so every role they'll be very clearly specified. Why do you have to keep asking anyone when you can get it from the industry? Because the industry is clearly telling you, we want people with these skills, we want people with these certifications. So I think that's the best place to go to, Sunando. Okay, hope I've answered that for you, and we can have another chat again on Skype if you'd like for me to help you through this. Absolutely no problem. So that's how it is. Okay. So let me just switch to Facebook again and see if there are any more questions. Right. We have somebody called Tanmay Agwane. Hi, Tanmay. Hi, I've already applied for diploma in culinary arts level 5, but have not got my visa yet. I've applied on 6th Feb. I've applied in NSIA. Tanmay, are you working with us? Okay, so you said that my agent said level 5 is culinary, last level for culinary. Is there more levels available? Tanmay, it's clear that you're not working with us. And since if you're interested to get proper advice, I think you should, my team will contact you and share your details, Tanmay, because yes, culinary arts, there are bachelor's level programs also available. However, a level 4 certificate is present on the long term skill shortage list. To be a chef and say, or get to the level of chef the path, you need to have very, very high levels of culinary skills. Okay. They are looking at you being amazing and creative, and because culinary is also a form of art, right? So it's like science, baking is science, culinary is, the other forms of cuisines are basically art. They call it artistic. So you need to have the passion and you need to have the skills for it. You need to have the, culinary skills for it. So you'll be fine with a level 5. However, if your intention to come here, settle down, get a 3 years work visa, a level 5 will not give you a 3 years work visa post your study. Okay. Also, you're going to NSIA, which is most likely the Auckland campus. That means you just have 1 year time to look for a job for yourself. Yeah. So you are actually at a disadvantage a bit. Okay. You're definitely at a disadvantage. So what will happen is, the requirement for, which is the long term skill shortage list, it's a level 4, and you will need to have certain years, 5 years of work experience to eventually gain points on the long term skill shortage list and everything. But in your situation, the best thing to do will be to either study in a course, um, study a course outside Auckland, which will again give you a longer time of visa, post study work visa, or even better to do a bachelor's degree. Okay, so Tanvai, I see there's a definite disadvantage for you specifically because you're going for a level 5 and most likely you're going to Auckland. You'll end up only with a 1 year work visa. So I'm not sure if your agent has told you this. Team, can you please make note of Tanvai, and we will need to reach out to him and help him, because it's important that if he's been given wrong advice, I think now is the best time for him to basically get advice, because he's still in his home country. And so team, please make a note and ensure Tanmay is and Tanmay says guide me. So guys, please reach out to Tanmay after this live session so that we can help him out with the situation. Okay. Karanveer Sharma, happy to guide any IT students already in New Zealand. Karanveer is one of our students um, who is our clients who's down in Christchurch. So he's quite knowledgeable and he's been in New Zealand for some time now. So Sunando, he answers that these are the softwares that are required. So you can also Sunando, you can also connect with Karanvi. He's quite helpful and he can. So Karan, Sunando is someone who's going to come to New Zealand very soon. I will connect him personally to you and you can help him and give him advice in terms of, because you seem to be knowledgeable in that IT area, and I will connect Sunando to you. Thank you very much, Karan. Next question, Martin John. Can I apply for PR under skilled migrant category? What's the minimum points required? I have done masters and 13 years of experience as network engineer. Will I be eligible for applying for a PR? Okay, Martin, thank you so much for your question, clear and crisp. First of all, you can apply for a resident visa. It's not called PR. Yes, you can apply for a resident visa, and your profile seems quite like the profile that you would qualify. Okay. there are very, very good chances. I can clearly see all the positive signs over there. Okay, so what I would suggest is for you to send me an email with your CV and your spouse's CV. Please email it to immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com. If you can send me a CV today, we'll assess and get back, and I will also call and speak to you in this regard and explain to you how the pathway works, because you cannot apply for a direct resident visa. However, you can apply for something called a skilled migrant category job search visa. So we will assess you for that and suggest you options. Okay. So please send me your CV and we will reach out. I'm going to make a note and also connect with you myself after this live session, and then we will see how it goes from there, Martin. Okay. I'll just make a note of your name, and also you can ping me, Martin, directly on my Facebook profile, and we will help you. Okay, Martin John. Okay. Tanmay says I will be contacting you shortly. Thank you for your guidance. You're welcome, Tanmay. Please, you still have time. You have not taken a flight and come here to New Zealand yet. You have not got your visa. You have not paid your fees. You're still in a good place at the moment. Please talk to us before you make a mistake or the wrong choice of coming here and then realizing that you could have got additional 1 year of work visa, which will add greatly to your, to increase your chances. Okay, so talk to us, Tanmay. Next question is from Shamim Hamza. Shamim says, what about dentistry? Okay, dentists are in the area where you need registration in New Zealand. All clinical programs, all clinical areas would require you to be registered in New Zealand. So you will, if you say dentistry, I'm assuming you're talking about study. So if you're looking at studying, you cannot study a dental program directly, a clinical dental program directly. Even to be a dental technician, you will need to have pre-registration. You could do something in oral health and a couple of other related streams. Um, they're very limited courses and they're very intensive in nature. So Shamim, I think you need to talk to us first about what your plans are, whether what kind of courses you will be interested in, and then we will advise you further on this. Okay. Please, team, connect with Shamim, and so that one of our advisors assist properly in terms of the course selection. Okay. Nikhil has come back. He says, diploma in applied network and cloud technology, and this course is advanced to my computer network subject in UG. Will I get PSVW of 3 years in New Zealand if I do this course? Nikhil, I think you said you have done ECE, which is Electronics and Communication Engineering. And this program is actually spot on if you want to do, because cloud technology is big now. That is, earlier, a few years ago, it was an expect thing, but now it is in vogue, and then everybody, all the companies are trying to get onto the cloud. Businesses become much more easier. Communications and entertainment is now all on the cloud, with Netflix and everything else. So cloud technology is currently the big thing happening. Definitely you have good scope and opportunity if you do something in network and cloud technology, because no company of a medium size, will shy away from getting onto the cloud and having. In fact, we work on a cloud based system. We also, our internal work that happens is on a cloud based system only. So yeah, even one or two sized companies also are now working through the cloud, and because of the convenience of it. So I think it's definitely a good area. If for you to get a 3 years PSVW, that is a post study work visa, you will have to study a PG diploma. Okay, so Nikhil, I think you're getting confused with a lot of options. You must talk to somebody who's, knowledgeable about these things, so that you don't get into the wrong program. There are a few very, very good schools providing this particular course, and we can assist you with this. Okay, team, please make a note of Nikhil and ensure we contact him after this live broadcast. Right? Okay. So we've got Emmanuel saying hi. Hi, Emmanuel. How are you doing? I'm doing well. Thank you. I don't have your number, Emmanuel. If you scroll back a bit of this video, you will be able to get my number. Martin, it's immigration advisor. with an SER. It's ADDISER at ajvglobal.com. Yeah, ajvglobal.com. Yeah, that's the question. Sorry, that's the email address. So we've got 4 more minutes. Team, is there anything else that you'd like me to answer? Any questions that I've missed out? We have somebody called Belson Thomas pinging somebody else to see this video probably. So, okay. So we seem to have answered pretty much everyone. Okay, I'm just going to scroll back and call out some names. If you guys can ensure you contact us. Nikhil, Sanmay, Martin. Yeah, ensure you guys do contact us. Samarth. Yeah, Altaf as well. Right. So I'm also going to quickly switch and see if YouTube has any questions that I can answer. Sami Khan, you're asking about email address. I have already said that. Also, my team has pasted the number and details for you. Okay, very interesting. Somebody says, "Hi, ma'am. Please tell me postgraduate diploma in business, and I have done BCom." Okay, Manju, I'm just going to we are very what I should say. The reason we are asking for your number or your details is we keep answering a lot of questions. We do have. In fact, if you look at all our live sessions in the past, we would have definitely answered about the postgraduate diploma in business management. But please understand, we will need to also analyze your profile. It is not like distributing newspapers because everybody gets the same thing, right? It's not like that. It is student advice or counseling, which we call, you say counselors, right? Counselors is for a reason, is because we need to actually look at your career, we need to look at your background and then advise. If you have done a BCom, that's fine, and you're looking at a postgraduate diploma in business management. Now I'll give you an example. There have been students who come to New Zealand on programs which they are not able to cope in. We have had students who have come here on accounting programs where they are really struggling to pass. If accounting is not something, an area that you are affluent with, it's best you look at alternate options, and that will happen only if you speak to us, only if you share your details with us. So what I would suggest, Manju, is to leave your details. Because also your question is very vague. What do you want me to tell? If you can just specify and elaborate a little bit, Manju, maybe I'll be able to answer. Elaborate about what do you want to know about the graduate diploma in business management. Are you wanting to know the eligibility, or do you want to know which college is good? You will have to elaborate your question slightly teeny bit and I will answer it. Okay, if you're not sharing your details, that's fine. Just be a little more specific with your question and I can help you on that. Okay, so there are a lot. A PG diploma in business is a very very common course which a lot of students take. Okay, it is a safe course to come on when you are from an area of commerce or business, because you will not be streamlining your options. Like for example, a lot of people come to us and say, hey, you know what, I want to do something specifically in HR, I'm a BCom person. So we do not recommend you to do something only in a particular specialized area. Doing a general business program like a business management or applied management will be a better of option, because you will be widening your scope of finding a job. Okay, that's how much I can answer with what you have pasted there, Vanchu. If you want specifically, you want me to tell you which college is good or where you need to study, you will have to answer that. Also, more importantly, if you can contact us, then we will answer all your questions. It doesn't take anything, guys. We don't charge. Our services, our counseling is consultation is free for all students, unless and until you have a previous visa decline, or you have problems with your profile or a adverse immigration history. Otherwise, we do not charge anything for our students to work with us. So all it takes is for you to spend a few rupees and call us and make a phone call, or even better, call us on our toll-free number, because it will not cost you to call us on our toll-free number. So Manju, if you would like us to provide services, you will need to come forth and also give us more information. Okay, so I think that will be the best thing for you to do. You will need to reach out to us. Okay, without that, it's going to be difficult for us. And if you don't like us after that, that's fine. It's your choice, absolutely your choice to say, okay, I don't like you guys and I don't like the information you have provided, which does not happen, by the way. Very, very rarely that people are displeased with us. I'd say 99% people are happy with the information we are providing with them. They are one off where, a few of them are not very happy, but otherwise, all our students are a bunch of happy people. Okay, you will see that, which is visible in all our student testimonials, which are being posted every week. We have at least a minimum of one testimonial posted every week. These are students who are here in New Zealand and who are doing extremely well because of the advice that we have provided, because of the support we are providing here on shore. Right. So before I sign off, I'm just going to quickly look at and see if there's any other questions that have come in. I think there are 2 new comments. So let me just quickly scroll down and see. Okay. One last question. Manish also asks, what is the difference between masters of 1.5 years and masters of 2 years full time? How many years of post study will get in both cases? Okay, Manish, team, can you please tell me if Manish is already working with us? Right. So, Manish, the main difference between the 1.5 years and a 2 years is a 1.5 year master's is basically of 180 credits, and a 2 years master's is of 240 credits. Okay. The fees will be different. Also, what will happen but then it's the same level, it's level 9. A master's 1.5 year or a 2 years is a level 9 master's. So when it comes to the resident visa, the points are the same that you get. However, if you do a 2 years master's, you fulfill the 2 main criteria to apply for a resident visa directly after you finish your course. Like, for example, the policy says that you need 160 points and fulfill either one of these 2 criterias to apply for a resident visa. So the 2 criterias are either you have a full-time employment from a New Zealand employer with a certain salary, meeting a certain salary threshold, and the job must be skilled in nature, or you have to have studied a 2 years master's in New Zealand. So your difference would be, if you're studying a 2 years master's, of course you spend more. However, you will tick off one of those 2 requirements in order to apply for a resident visa. Okay, so you don't have to find an employer or a job to apply for a resident visa. You can straight away apply for your resident visa because you've studied a 2 years master's. Of course, you need to meet the 160 points, requirement. But if you do so, you don't have to have a job offer. Okay, there are a lot of people who already having, say, 140, for example, with all their experience and everything once they come to New Zealand. By doing a master's, it'll add 20 more points. I mean, their qualifications get boosted from 50 to 70. In that case, they go to 160 and they can apply. They don't have to have an employer to give them a job offer letter. Yes, that's the advantage. So yes, you end up spending a little more, and you have, say, you know a longer duration of study. However, the advantage is you can apply for a direct resident visa straight away. But please understand, the people who have come for a 1.5 year course, you are not at a disadvantage. Okay, you will only have to you will have to meet the other requirement, or not just people who have come for masters, for any other programs you will fulfill the other requirement, which is the getting employment. That's what most of the people applying for a resident visa do. They do apply for what do you say they do apply for the job and get a job, and then apply for a resident visa. Okay, so I hope I've answered that, and please, team, also connect with him and provide him all the information. Okay, I think we're at the end of the session. We've also passed the time because there was a bit of a technical snag. I just pulled it a little bit, and I've spoken for more than an hour. However, I would request all of you who have come online today to please connect with my team. I see there are a lot of advice. So, and numbers you can contact us on is it's in if you want to reach us in India, it's 1-800-103-6525. The email address will be info@ajvglobal.com. If you're looking at immigration and would like your profiles to be assessed, please send your CVs to immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com. The number which you need to reach, you can reach me here in New Zealand is +642226052615. Best mode will be to call once or send me a WhatsApp. I'm a little slow sometimes in terms of responding to WhatsApp messages, guys, because I am not online all the time in terms of getting messages on WhatsApp. I do check at least once a day, but then I sometimes there's a bit of delay. Please bear with me. Even better to give me a call or send me an email, and then I'll respond to you promptly. Let me end today's session. Ka kite and see you next week. Hope you guys have a good weekend coming. We're just two days away from the weekend. Hope you guys have a good week ahead as well. Thank you very much, guys.